Okay, so I'm not sure how this is gonna
Actually,
look, but
it looks like I'm talking to you.
you want me like held up on the lamp?
Well, no, you could. No, I'm just putting it there so I could like check how it looks from time to time.
Okay, okay, yeah, that's
So it's
the
not
camera
like
feed.
I'm
Okay,
gonna.
looking for a way out. So you're recording?
Yes, I am.
So looking at that avatar, I can't tell if that's like coffee crumbs on your thigh or if that's a freckle. Welcome to Shenanigans Will Ensue. I'm your residential soy boy Viger, and here with me, as always, will be our illustrious second host,
Horny
better than
bitch.
most,
Mina.
the horny queen, horny bitch, psycho bitch. I don't freaking know what her title is anymore. Mina lover. And as the title suggests, we're just going to go into it. Shenanigans will ensue,
Yeah.
but with this first episode, I don't really freaking know what we're doing here anymore. Which I think is standard affair between the two of us. We don't know what's going on.
Much. That's how we all like started hanging out.
Pretty much, I guess, which I guess makes sense for our first episode with figuring out exactly who we are, how we know each other, and what we're essentially going to be doing with this thing that we've decided to set up. So, Mina, tell us a little bit about yourself first. Ladies first, as they tend to say.
Oh boy, where do I begin? I'm Mina Lover.
It all started when I was born.
I'm Mina Lover. As you guys know, this will probably be posted on my channel, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we designated your channel. We'll be where this goes.
As Viger mentions, I have multiple personas.
Personas. It's hard to keep track most of the time.
But mainly just.
So most of these episodes, you're going to see her in different shades of color, different types of ears, different types of tails. But I'm just going to be the same guy over here, this same floating metal bastard. Anyway.
I have.
She hasn't been drinking, I swear.
Not today.
Though there may be an episode or two where that may have happened.
Ooh, no, never mind. But I don't know what to say.
We picked a good title for this podcast. We picked a very, very good title for this podcast. You can tell she's new to this. And I'm pretty comfortable with this whole thing. Anything else you want to disclose right now, or we'll just wait for future episodes?
We'll wait for future episodes, I guess.
Fair enough. I'm trying to tell if, like, when I look down, does the entire ring go, like, over my head? Because
No.
When I'm sitting like this? Okay.
No, it just stays.
Okay, it looks like it on my...
They just stay there.
Okay, it looks like it on my screen, because it just goes completely up over here, and then down and up and down. It looks weird. Anyway, speaking of weird, my name's Viger. You may have seen me on the interwebs every now and again, too. As you can see, my favorite Pokemon is Magnemite. Pretty much, I'm just kind of sulking in the background doing a thing as a boat girl. Anyway. Yes, I do wear this hat IRL. No, I have 2 eyes, not 1. And yes, I'm single. Anyway.
Which is very weird.
Before you guys get any bright ideas or anything, friends. We've made this abundantly clear between us. So before any of you fan artists and shippers out there think you've getting any ideas,
Sorry.
Friendly hugs, side hugs. I think they call those Christian hugs, where you just like do a side hug. I mean, that's the colloquial term. There's no. Okay. Which is even going to bring into how the heck this friendship even freaking works.
Well, how about we explain our names first? Because we both picked out our nicknames for each other.
Yeah. Well, you picked them both out. I just kind of went
No,
along
you
with
picked
it.
yours out. You said you were the Catholic soy boy.
That's true. That's right. I think we kind of just workshopped that together, but you really sold it. I just kind of spat it out there and you kind of latched onto it. It's like, that's who Viger is. So yes, if it wasn't abundantly, if you've seen my videos and you've seen the crucifix that hangs in the background of literally every single one of them, I am Catholic, hence the Catholic soy boy. As for Mina,
I'm just a horny bitch. Or horny queen.
so you may be asking yourself, how the hell does this friendship frickin' work? Well, I'm gonna tell you, it all started in an Among Us server, and I was watching cams. And in walks this girl with big bunny ears and a big ass. And she doesn't see that I'm sitting in the corner watching cameras. And so she walks in and is looking at cameras. And then just starts backing it up, right in my face. And I'm just sitting there being like, well, this is happening now. And who was it that brought this
to... It was Makoto that said something. He wasn't even talking to me. He was talking to you. I think he said, Viger, do you like the view? And I'm like, what?
And I turn around and here I am squatting in the corner like a little gremlin, just being like, hi. And for lack of a better term, the rest was history beyond then. We just hit it off really freaking well. And despite everything that society says that you and me should never be friends, we are like, we're the best friends ever on VR chat. And you can take that to the bank. So every time we go in to check security cams in Among Us, it's a special moment every time.
Yes, very much so.
It is a very special moment.
I wouldn't say that's what solidated our friendship, though.
Nah.
I know, Viger. While you were gone, I realized something.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I've met any of your other VR chat friends.
VR chat, why you gotta be like this? Okay.
But I did realize, like, we only hang out with my friends.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any other friends other than me in VR chat? Oh no,
I don't really go off making friends in VR chat. It's just like, let's just see what adventures I'm gonna get up to this time. Which makes this friendship even more freaking special. Because you're like the first true to form VR chat friend that I've made.
Yay.
So that's why I more or less hang out with all of your VR chat friends, and you don't hang out with any of mine, because unlike mine, yours exist. So,
Damn.
Again, that was a conscious decision of mine, because I'm like, man, all these people are weird. But then I walk into electrical one day, and you walk in, and I'm like, man, this girl is weird, but in a special kind of way.
I think
So,
I'm surprised I didn't scare you off with my family tree. It's a doozy.
I've just given up on that. Because it fries my brain every time I try and put any sort of connection to it. For those of you wondering, this is not her actual family. This is her VR chat family.
Yes, my VR chat family is very huge and kind of a little messed up since, well,
There's a few dead branches, some weeds that are growing. Let's just keep that between you and me, unless you want to divulge on it one special day when it's like Family Appreciation Day or something. I don't frickin' know.
If it's Family Appreciation Day, whenever we do this, I don't think we have enough seats for all my kids.
I don't think there's a server big enough in this world that would be able to have them all. Even like can't bring them all to the Great Pug, not only because none of them are old enough to drink, but it's the server size as well.
Well, some of them are old enough to drink.
And that concerns me.
The fact that some of them are older than me should concern you.
Yeah, so there's time travel that's involved with your family tree. That's why this thing doesn't make any freaking sense. And then with my family tree, it's just me. I'm like a separate like twig in the ground next to your enormous family tree, unconnected but very close and affiliated with somehow. I'm like the fun uncle, twice removed, never related. You're like a giant oak tree, and I'm like one of those little like shrubs over in the corner doing
like hides in the shade.
by myself doing my thing. Still living somehow, some way. Well, that kind of more or less depicts the madness that is you and I, and the relationship you and I have. Which, if you're watching this, which I'd hope you are watching this, I know you're kind of looking over being like, man, I could go get something to drink, or man, I could go use the bathroom right now and never come back. I've got my eye on you. I've got my eye on you real good. But let this be a lesson that differences apply. You can still be friends with people, no matter what sort of aisle you stand on, whether you're Catholic, whether you're not, what your political affiliation is, white, black, doesn't freaking matter. I don't know why I pointed to you when I said black, but doesn't freaking matter about differences and everything. Let us set the example that you can be friends close to somebody and have absolutely nothing in common with them. And it still somehow frickin' works. Well, we figured that out, but at the first moment, it's like, do we have anything in common? No. But then we just kind of came together in the middle, and it's just like, okay, we found some common ground. So, let us set the example. You can be friends with literally anybody and not realize it until they stumble into cams and show their ass in front of your face. Then you might be able to figure it out.
Don't act like you did. You probably didn't like it.
Little did I know what insanity would ensue. I had a VR chat ass in my face, and now here I am with said person with said ass on a podcast. You never know where this is going to go. Shenanigans will ensue. Again, we picked a very good... It's been several months.
This kind of feels...
We've been spitballing this idea.
Viger, we've
it literally... Yeah, because I remember playing Murder 4 with you during the Christmas season, because I remember going full John Wick with a candy cane, and you just popped my ass right there. So... She's a good shot in Murder 4, make no mistake. If she runs up and she can take the gun, you better frickin' give her the gun if you know what's good for you. Just saying. Just saying.
And pray that I'm not the murderer.
Oh, you'll know she's the murderer because you'll just hear her giggling and cackling from 3 halls down.
Well, no.
You'll know it. You'll know it. And there's not a dang thing you can do about it.
Unless you have a gun, you better hope and pray that you're fast enough.
And even then, that's like a 50-50, whether or not your aim is good enough. But anyway, yeah, it's been almost a full year since you and I first met. I want to say we probably were in that Among Us server in November, I want to shoot for.
Probably.
If not November, like very late October.
No, it would definitely...
If at the very least. Yeah, it wouldn't have been October because then it would have been like the Halloween theme, and I don't recall Halloween at all when you and I first met. So yeah, it had to have been like mid-late November.
Last year, I didn't even have you as a friend.
And I did not even come up on your radar. You had no idea what sort of storm was coming your way when you walked into that cam room.
I wouldn't say being friends with you is like a storm, more like a pleasant day.
That too. Nothing but good vibes from me. Which is, I want to say, probably like our number one rule with this podcast, nothing but good vibes. We're not going to try and get political on this show, and we're not going to try and be politically correct with anything, because we are too stupid to be correct about that kind of stuff. Either that or we just don't frickin' care.
More or less, yeah.
Because I'll say to you what I said to that 4th grade student that I was student teaching when he wanted to talk about Hillary Clinton in 2016. Do the math on that. We don't want to talk about politics because 9 times out of 10, it'll always end up with somebody getting angry at somebody, and we don't want anybody angry here.
No, only good
Nothing but good vibes, nothing but positive feelings. So leave your politics at the door, bring your good vibes in, and shenanigans will ensue. We can guarantee you that.
There's like a few things that I will never talk about, politics being one of them. Also religion being one of them, because it just starts too many
Yeah.
times.
Yes, yeah. And again, being the Catholic guy, I will leave that at the door because I just know people are going to disagree. People are going to have their own opinions. And I respect those opinions, even if I may not agree with them. But that's the beauty of an opinion. So, yeah. See what happens when somebody just shows your ass in your face? You become best friends with them.
Not at a strip club. Guys,
Well,
not at a strip club.
yes, and I also need to reiterate, that's not always going to work. You just walk up and you're just like got your face in somebody's ass and you're like, now you're best friends with me. It's probably not going to work like that. It's not how that works. You got to say, hey, hello, my name's so-and-so. What's your name? And then maybe you'll get to that point. I don't freaking know how your relationships are going to work.
Well,
As between the two of us.
this is VR chat. Literally anything
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
true. There's crazier things. You can get away with literal murder in VR chat.
I know. I have.
I can only imagine how many sort of kids have seen dicks in their faces on the reg, and nothing has
know.
been done.
And that's kind of sad.
That's just the beauty of VR chat. There is no law.
there's pure chaos.
Even the moderation that VR chat says that they do, it doesn't exist. So, but we're sidetracking off that. Good vibes, shenanigans, and all that other jazz. What else should we talk about in this first episode?
I don't know.
It's basically, you said what you wanted to say about yourself. I've said what I wanted to say about myself. We've talked about how we met and how we can set the good example of
I mean, we can
good
catch
friends
up with,
despite
like,
differences.
times, like how we've been doing.
Yeah, more so than what we normally do. So yeah, it's October as of this recording. I think October 3rd. It's spooky month. Get your spooks ready. And your big boy pants and adult diapers on because you may be shitting yourself. So Halloween is sort of your holiday. October is your month. You do
Well, I'm
anything special with that?
bisexual, and bisexual bitches love Halloween.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna say like I know what that means, but I'm just gonna nod my head and say yes.
But yeah.
But please explain how October is your time of the year, like Christmas is for me.
I don't know. It's just. I love Tim Burton films. I think that's why I love like Halloween so much.
Yeah.
It's just like all the like spooky, scary skeletons and stuff. And
I was just about to say that. But I was like, I shouldn't say that. Mina will clearly say that, and I was right.
But yeah, I'm probably
So
guys, I'm sorry. I know my coworkers are gonna see this too. I will be wearing my Halloween skin probably next episode.
Well, here's my question: Do your coworkers even know who Mina Lover is, or do they know the person behind Mina Lover?
They know the person person behind Mine a Lover, but I have told them like about my YouTube channel. I know some of them have subscribed to it.
Okay. Well, they can choose whether or not they want to watch it or not, and
Yeah.
their opinions and their judgments will be their own. But
I think they will.
this is the rules that we set in stone.
At work, I'm usually just like a shy girl, but here it's like I'm completely different.
I think that's the beauty of VR. Not even VR chat, but just virtual reality as a whole. You could literally be anybody. Or that's just the internet in general, which is good and bad at the same time. But anyway.
I can't be myself at work because that's just professional stuff. Like, that's how I make
Of course. Yeah. I know the guys that I work with at the plant, they don't know about my YouTube channel. They don't know about who I am online. And I think it's better off that they don't.
Probably.
Although I'm starting to think that the marketing department may be giving me some funny looks when I tell them, oh, I have 40,000 plus subscribers and I do this for a living. They'll be like, you want to help us run our internet usage? I'm like, I might know a thing or two. I mean, this bad boy may or may not be working out his first sponsorship video, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there when it goes live.
Fun.
So, yeah. Stay in tune for that. I'll let you know about that stuff. But anyway, back to October shenanigans that we may be seeing in the future. As I do want to say we should have a Halloween episode.
I think so.
At some point. If it doesn't air on Halloween, a Halloween-themed episode around the time that Halloween goes up. So I want to say that will happen in the future.
It's gonna happen. I'll make it happen. I'll drag your ass. I'll be like Viger.
I wouldn't expect anything less. So going back to October, is it just the whole dress up aspect, or is it just the whole spooky aspect? What is it about October that just makes it your favorite month? Makes it your favorite holiday, Halloween?
Well, I know when I was younger, like I used to love like dressing up and going door to door. We always used to go to like my grandpa's house too, so I usually always saw family and would go trick or treating with family. So, and if you guys didn't know, family is just a big part of my life. Clearly,
so it should be for everybody.
Much of VR children.
Family is so important. She made an entire virtual family in the interwebs, and it is absolutely insane to try and untangle. That's almost like a 2-hour episode that we would spend trying to untangle your family tree.
Like I could shorten it down, let's get to the like the nitty gritty.
So with dressing up in Halloween, what was probably the craziest costume you ever came up with? Since you started dressing up for Halloween. This isn't the Halloween themed episode. We're just kind of going off on a tangent here. But this is get to know your hosts.
I remember one year for some reason, I wanted to be some kind of ghoul. So I did my makeup so where it was like I got shot in the neck and like blood would be oozing from my neck throughout the day. And this was even when I was at like middle school. So.
My second question was going to be, how old were you when you were making this costume? So, please tell me you were at least in the double digits when you were coming up with this. I don't want a 5-year-old looking like it had its neck snapped while shambling down the street.
I think it was like 30.
I'm more acceptable of a 12-year-old shambling down the street like it looked like it got hung or something. Be more accepting of that.
So, actually, I'm going to go off on a little tangent. So, this was like
as a standard procedure on this podcast, yes.
This was like...
Shenanigans will ensue, tangents will follow.
7th grade. I usually got to my classes pretty early. So, I was sitting in class one day, and I was just like, you know what? This was on Halloween, too, where I dressed up as this scary ghoul. So, I sit in my chair, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to close my eyes. I heard someone walking in. My bright-ass idea was like, I'm gonna...
Oh, no.
So I acted like I was like this...
I thought...
They came up, and it looked
like
they were sitting right next to me. So I was like, boo. Scared the living shit out of him.
As you should. I was afraid someone was going to walk in and see someone who looked like they got shot, slumped over their desk, and may or may not call the cops because there's a dead body in the classroom. That's where I thought this is going, but a Halloween prop is a much better, safer, funnier sort of story rather than a murder. Probably the craziest costume I dressed up as. Oh yeah, it had to have been the solar system. Yeah.
How'd you manage to do that?
You get a bunch of styrofoam balls, and you make this entire ring contraption not too dissimilar to what's going on below my head here. And then you make the solar system on your head. You wear that around. And then you dress in like dark blue, black with a bunch of stars and sequins and different other shiny things. And there's your solar system. So I got a lot of questionable looks and people wanting to take pictures and be like, look at this kid running around with a bunch of balls on his head. And I'm like, what? I'm 10 and I don't understand what you're talking about. But no, it was a big hit. Nobody would have expected that the entire solar system would be personified as a kid. But then in this age of the internet, anything could be turned into a hot anime woman. So I wasn't too far off from the coming trend. I wasn't too far off. You've seen me walking around as a bunch of boats.
I know you. I know.
So
You've seen me walk around as a few boats myself.
Yep, as per my suggestions. Anyway.
I still want to get that new boat. The one that you showed me.
What? August Fun Parsifal?
Yes.
AVP, not Alien versus Predator, but it's a very, very interesting way to remember that boat. This is Azure Lane stuff, of which I have an unhealthy addiction to, and she's just kind of tagging along with it. Much like how I tag along with most of her stuff.
Good ex-boyfriend that I heard you like it.
Well, that we don't count. We don't count that. We don't count that. Because I don't tag it along with you being like, oh, dress up as this. And they're like, oh, look at this boat. It's like, you would like the design and everything.
Yeah.
It's German.
And you know,
it's in World War II.
Which is good.
Yeah. Well, one in particular. One in particular we stay away from. Under boobs be damned. Anyway. I'm more of a Belfast man myself anyway. Ditto can suck a dick. Probably does. Anyway. What else do we want to talk about in this first episode? Talked about it's October, so we date this episode pretty well. Your fascination with October/Halloween.
Yeah.
We'll probably have this sort of discussion when it comes around to December, Christmas time for me, because that's my jam. That and June are my two favorite months. June for obvious reasons. It's when I become an old man every year. And December for Christmas reasons. And also half birthday reasons, because Christmas is right on my half birthday, which is a little fun fact right there. So I get half my presents on Christmas and the rest of them on my birthday.
My brother's half birthday. Oh my god, you and my brother are like 3 days apart, but many, many years apart.
In leaning more towards me being the younger or him being the younger?
Him being the younger. I'm the oldest in my family.
Okay. That makes it a lot easier to track that family as opposed to the VR chat family. That's just all over.
It's getting a little fucked up too.
Yeah, you brought that up to my attention. I'm still trying to digest that little aspect right there. Emphasis on little. Do we want to discuss that at all, or
nope?
Just leave that at. Fair enough. Then we will leave it at that. We will leave it at that. And is this going to even be the, not to go off on a completely different segue, but is this going to be the one and done setting that we're gonna be cooped up in, or we may be
if we find
relocating
something-
every once in a while.
If we find like something better that we like,
And Quest compatible, yeah.
well, no, we don't have to.
Well, yeah, because you. Well, depends on yeah, if we have anybody on here. Depends on them, but between the two of us, we can go literally anywhere.
Yeah.
But as for anything else, who knows at this point?
I would
Oh,
just
boy.
suggest what?
Mina.
Oh. We're still going. Go away. That's staying in the video.
I told you I'd be back just to see how you were doing before I got off.
We're still going strong there, so
Okay.
Cut it out.
Mental note. We should do this in a private
we should do this in an invite-only lobby. So we can make sure of that. But would it be Shenanigans Will Ensue if shenanigans didn't ensue?
I mean, but knowing me,
'Cause let's be-
my white knights will follow me everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And let's be honest, do we really know exactly what the hell we're doing with this whole thing? We don't even know how to set up a first episode correctly. We don't even have a freaking itinerary or a list of what it is that we're going to be talking about. We just sat down, and the intro you got was the intro you got. I came up with in like 5 seconds, so there is literally no structure to this at all. The fact that somebody stumbled in here just to see what was going on is very indicative of this entire show.
This show is basically
So-
like a premiere of our friendship.
This is just a day in the life of the soy boy and the horny queen.
Mhm.
But that's a bit of a mouthful to say as far as like a podcast title goes. So Shenanigans Will Ensue is probably the best way that we can
Yeah.
convey the chaotic energy that we just exuded together.
Well, you're just an agent of chaos. And I'm just me.
An arbiter of chaos. Yes. I like to watch the world burn. She's the one that burns it. I just watch eating my popcorn, just letting it happen. So, anything else that we want to talk about with this first episode, or any other points
Really
of contention that we want to?
Oh, I was gonna.
As I know,
We.
Huh?
I said we were gonna catch up on how we've been.
yeah, I think we before we not have already conveyed that just throughout the normal stuff that we've been talking about, or anything personal that we want to get into that we want to disclose on the interwebs.
I recently started developing Phantom Sons,
Ooh,
which
that's
has been
interesting.
fun and like a bit confusing actually, because I was hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
So for you guys to know, I have two best friends. One is this lovely machine person thing that I affect.
This floating metal bastard over here.
The other one you might see here and there. Mosley or Chris is what.
It's not the guy that came in not too
Yeah.
long ago. It's not that guy. Not Soviet. Not Soviet.
But I was hanging out with Chris yesterday and we were like cuddling and stuff. I turned to look at him. I felt his breath on my face and I'm like, oh, what
Uh-huh.
the fuck?
And then you took the headset off, and it was the cat staring daggers at you, like, "Where's my food?"
I don't have a cat. I have a dog.
Well, I was shooting in the dark, and I was hoping that I was right, and I was wrong. Let's move on.
I have a dog.
That too. Again, because you keep making cat noises. It's just assumed cat in the head.
No, I am the cat.
Fair. See how I just go along with this stuff? But I don't do anything to stop it.
No matter
I just...
what.
Yep. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yay.
Because I like this. I like this back and forth that you and I have.
Yeah.
It's special.
We are very special together.
Yeah.
So how have you been?
So anyway, continuing on with your Phantom Sense nonsense.
Like,
Or was that that was the whole point of it?
I don't know, like, sometimes it will come and go. I mainly just, like,
Mm-hmm.
boobs and head pats. Maybe, like, a hug
Mhm.
will feel. But last night, okay, to be honest, I was drunk. So...
That may have amplified it a bit.
that may have amplified it.
We need to get you one of those haptic suits.
But I'm
Have you ever heard of those?
I wouldn't let you buy another thing for me.
Well, I'm not saying that I need to give it to you. I'm saying we need to get you a haptic suit at some point. Not whether or not it's actually going to happen, but the idea of you actually wearing a haptic suit so that you actually have Phantom Sense IRL for realsies, it's just funny.
Okay, but to be honest, with how many white knights I have,
Uh-huh.
I really think that would be a good idea. There'd just be like...
I mean, that's up to you. I'm just
boobs.
putting that up there for you to take whether you want it or not. And also, there's this wonderful new invention called the on and off switch on it, so you could just make sure that it's not.
Oh. As you do that,
I'm just saying. I don't have one. I don't know about one. I don't think I even need one because I'm only a Head and Shoulders. Head and Shoulders brand shampoo. Get on that. I know I don't have any hair on this model, but I'm basically the spokesperson for that. Anyway. So as far as me going, you'll see that I go on these little nonsensical bits when I can. And she'll laugh.
Funny.
She'll giggle.
Well, yeah.
Whenever I do anything. She's just right there. Again, this is the good kind of energy that we like to have.
I'm
There's
sorry.
not been one day where I have... Well, there's not been one day where I have not gotten into a game with you and have not made you laugh to some degree. Whether it be just like a short little giggle or a full burst, we need 5 minutes for you to collect yourself. Sort of episode.
Like, even on my bad days,
So-
you still make me laugh. Which I think that's
Mhm.
the beauty of our friendship.
Yes, I can just take that frown and turn it upside down no matter what's been going on.
Yeah.
But that's what a good friend does. Regardless of whether it be me or somebody else, that's what good friends do. And again, friends. I need to reiterate that
If I
again.
see any fucking romance thing, I'm gonna puke. Viger, I cannot
This is why I went with the...
anything more than like a big brother figure.
Yeah, like I said, I'm like the fun uncle of the family. So, and again, not even related, but close enough that it would be weird if we were even closer. And again, that's why I went with a Magnemite, because it's no gender and nothing else to it, so don't even try. Anyway, as far as
They're gonna try.
I've been... Oh, I know, it's called Rule 34. Where there's a will, there's a way. As far as me personally, what has been happening in my life? Oh God, nothing's been happening in my life. Yeah, that I want to disclose. Oh God. What am I doing with my life? No, it's not. Well, that's the question. What am I doing with my life? The answer is not much. I mean, I recently am in the process of getting a promotion / raise at work,
That's good.
so I'm going to be making more. That's always nice and nice to talk about. I'm closing in on 45,000 subscribers on the main channel. I still don't know how the hell that even freaking works, because I was just doing it for fun. The fact that I even have an audience at some point is just a miracle that I cherish every waking moment of my life. And I may be getting a sponsorship in one of my videos. Well, not maybe, it's in progress. So that's going to be an interesting new chapter that I'm actually going to start making. I'm actually going to start making some money off of my channel, which I never thought in a million years would ever freaking happen. So that's new.
Well, you've been on YouTube for a while, too.
Well, I've existed on YouTube for at least 10 years, and I've only been uploading stuff within the past 6 years. But again, I was only doing it recreationally, unlike marijuana, which I don't do recreationally. I don't do ever. But I just did it for fun. I just uploaded stuff just for the sake of putting it out there for my own amusement. The fact that anybody else got any sick kick out of it is completely secondary. And I thought, I can actually make something out of this, and I continued doing what I was doing. And I have a fan base, which is still weird to wrap my head around. And yeah, that's about it. Also, I'm talking to a girl, but that's neither here nor there.
Don't say that, you're gonna give them ideas!
No, well, not you.
Oh.
I'm talking to this girl right here, but there's another girl that I'm talking to that I'm still trying to figure that out.
Know that.
Whatever. I could be making this all up. Must be the internet. None of this could be real. I might not even be real.
You're me, Viger.
Same. Anyway. Well, that's basically what's been happening in our lives since the last time we talked that would be important enough to convey to the masses. I guess, do we want to talk about where we want to go with this going forward as far as, like, what to expect with future episodes?
Sure.
Aside from the inevitable Halloween episode where I'm going to try and scare you.
Oh, fun.
In my own subtle Viger way. Well, subtle, but more passive than anything else. I'm going to make you think existentially about stuff. How about that? And this isn't to put a scale of the universe in front of mine and let her brain melt. I've got other ideas. That'll make you think. That'll make you be terrified in a more real sense than, ooh, spooky! It's like, oh god, sort of sense. But anyway, do we have any other plans with going forward with this? I know, like, the guy who the drunk that stumbled in here not too long ago, and I can say that because his name's Soviet, so of course by proxy there. So, in a vodka-induced haze, he just kind of bumbled his way in here. Do we expect anybody specifically to be on in future episodes? From your friend group, obviously, because mine, as we've established, doesn't exist.
I don't know, like, maybe we could slowly, like some of my VR family, some of my, like, close friends. I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, like I said, more or less with this podcast, we're basically just flying by the seat of our pants, putting it on one leg at a time.
Yeah.
Like normal people, essentially.
Doing whatever the hell we feel like.
Yeah. We may tell stories about things that we heard of that are funny or get you thinking. We're basically just doing what we do in VR chat, which is just shoot the shit. Minus the mini games that are interspersed between. This is just us sitting down and actually talking about the nonsense that is Viger and Mina. So, and as per the usual, shenanigans will ensue in every single episode, or at least we'll try to let them happen. So,
they're gonna happen.
Anything else you want to?
When
Oh yeah.
There ever been a time
Well,
when
that.
shenanigans have not ensued?
Well, like I said, this podcast isn't shenanigans might ensue. They will ensue. That's an absolute guarantee. That's a 100% guarantee from the two of us. So, anything else that we want to discuss, bring up? Just from laughing too much. That's the right amount. That's the correct response to that. I make women hurt the good way. Wait. That went off the rails real quick.
I want you to go and think about what you just
I'm just gonna think about it right here, right now, while you close this out and get me off of here before things get even worse. This Catholic soy boy may not be as Catholic as he says he is.
Alright, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys had fun as much as we did.
Oh, they did. They did.
We'll see you next episode whenever we get to it. It might be the Halloween
Yep.
episode, who knows?
Who knows at this point? We'll figure it out as we go. Again, flying by the seat of our pants. See you guys in the next episode.